all manufacturing is all about buying raw materials and turning it into finished goods that you can sell, right?
Yeah.
Buy low, sell high.
Yeah.
Collect early the money and pay late. That's business in a nutshell.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for listening to the podcast. Hi, welcome to Manufacturing Matters. This is the podcast that people come to listen to matters about manufacturing. And today I'll be talking to Finn Hunneche, who has a lot of experience. So he started out in software development, worked in engineering. He's got over 35 years of experience in manufacturing. Worked in Novo Nordisk. You set up a factory from scratch, a greenfield.
Greenfield, yeah.
Yeah. General manager in Turkey.
Yeah. Selling the products.
Yeah, you headed up lean production at Novo Nordisk as well. And you were vice president of something, product supply?
Global support within product supply.
Okay.
So there's all the staff functions supporting the production in Novo Nordisk. Yeah, that was my
cool.
good old days.
Yeah. So that's a lot of experience there. And then you the senior partner and co-founder of Amendo Consulting Group.
Yeah.
Since 2006.
Yeah.
Which is also another big, interesting organization with a lot of experience with consulting for manufacturers.
We are 180 people today.
Yeah, that's amazing. And out of Amendo Consulting Group, Factbird was born.
Yeah.
Which is 55 people today.
Yeah. And growing, hopefully.
Yeah, we're growing.
I think you're approaching 100 this year, so that will be good.
That's exciting. Yes, so basically, welcome, Finn.
Thank you.
You have a lot of experience, and I'm very excited to get you in today. Thanks for coming in on short notice. And what I'd like to ask you today is, what is your number one tip for manufacturers with all that experience?
Well, first of all, I've been blessed throughout my work life by, first actually have to manage manufacturing myself, and then afterwards, as a consultant, to get to see how other people manage their factories and try to help and guide how they do it. So I think I've been very lucky to see a lot of things in my work life so far, and so what I see in these years in terms of challenging things within manufacturing is the growing number of automated systems, anything from automated guided vehicles to fully automatic machines, a lot of IT systems, not only one, but people have to log into 3, 4, 5, 6 systems in order to do their job. So the automation is helping us to be efficient, but it's also making the manufacturing environment complex.
Yeah.
So that's one driver. Another driver that I see more and more is a growing number of direct reports that the managers have. Even close to the process, you see that the supervisors, the first line managers, are quite busy with a high number of people, and so I see that also as I see it as a negative thing that the first line support is weaker than it used to be.
Yeah, so you don't have the same sort of one-to-one relationship.
You don't have that one-to-one relationship. They're super busy, also with meetings and stuff like that. So that's like the second driver.
What did the numbers go like? Just for example,
if you really want to do a process efficient and in high quality, the best setup, which you see at like Toyota, is 6 to 8 people, and you could probably go up to 15 and still do a good job.
Yeah.
Above 15, I question whether you can still do a good job, but are you actually doing the best job?
Yeah.
And when you go above 30 or up to 40 reporting to one person, I think it's not the right way to run manufacturing in my mind. And I see a lot of mistakes and happening because people really don't know what they should do and so on.
Yeah.
So the third driver I see is, of course, and I think that's a good thing, that we utilize the equipment and the factories 24/7.
Yeah.
But of course, it also means that a lot of people are coming into the workspace and leaving the workspace, and who keeps the overview?
So you've got how many shifts a day? 3 shifts a day, working weekends?
Yeah. So I think those 3 drivers, the level of automation, the number of direct reports, and the 24/7 operation makes it significantly more difficult to be a manufacturing manager today compared to what it used to be. And also, of course, also an operator. It's more complex to be an operator. You need to have more skills. So we are more efficient, but it also requires a lot more. And hey, that's okay.
There's a reason why it's like that.
There's a reason why it's like that. It's because that's how we want it. But it is more complex. So that's some of the changes I've seen over the last, I'd say, 20 years. How that has happened. And then in terms of what to do about it, I personally believe that it's impossible to survive in the manufacturing environment unless you have numbers. You need to convert all the opinions, the missing know-how, it's a little bit like the Terminator robot, Arnold Schwarzenegger, when he's panning around in the environment, he can see the numbers, the temperature of things. And I do believe that if we don't manage to put numbers on everything and have those numbers visible to us in real time, then it's almost impossible to manage such a factory. You can imagine you walk into a big manufacturing hall where you have 10 or 20 production lines, and you need to find out what your biggest challenge is. How are you going to do it? I mean, in the good old days when I was managing, I would walk the shop floor and I'll ask people, so how are we doing, and so on. But with the pace we have today and the level of automation, it's not enough to ask people, and it will take you too long time. So you need to have numbers. You need to make the machines, the process speak to you. You can imagine if you took the dashboard out of your car, right? You would get a lot of speeding tickets, and you run out of gas.
It depends how you drive.
Well, I would certainly get a lot of speeding tickets. Is this going live? No, I'm kidding. No. I really try to encourage our customers to get number of things. And I'm not saying it all should be digital, but just writing pen and paper can also be fine. But as a modern manufacturing person, you need to have a numbers mindset. Otherwise, you will not survive, and it will only get worse. It will only get worse. So
it's complexity, right?
Complexity.
There's only a certain amount of complexity that people can manage in their head. Like your cognitive load at some point is 100%, and that's it. So you need numbers to assist you.
I mean, if the one analogy to manufacturing is a hospital, for instance, right? If you come into a hospital, the first thing they do is they will take a blood sample. Right? They will get data. They're not doing anything until they have a blood sample. So
listening to you like
and perhaps we should think about that as well in a factory, that we need to be able to have a blood sample fairly often, maybe every minute or every 15 minutes from the factory, to show us where do we need to focus. What can we do best with our time?
I think so. You have a way of putting it that's really resonated with everyone here, which is how do you know whether or not you're having a good day? That's the blood sample, right?
That's the blood sample. Am I having a good day or not? In our consulting firm, we are all our numbers, accounting numbers and everything, we visualize with graphs. Because one thing is to just show 6 or something like that, but when you have graphs, we have the ability. Our heads are super good at. 6 is a funny number, but a line that is going up or down is super easy for the brain to comprehend.
Pattern recognition.
We are super good at as humans.
So that simplifies things for people. So that was a lot of information. That's good.
Insist on having numbers. That's my.
That's your number one tip.
That's my number one tip.
So you've gone through that really well. So we know why that's important. We know what the tip is. We know the challenges that sort of have led to that problem. Which is a solution to efficiency. But how would people then implement this advice?
First of all, don't try to turn it into a gigantic IT project.
Yeah.
So I believe, elephants should be eaten in small bites. And so I think you could start with an area, maybe the most important area, and try to just to say, let's just have one number, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To say if it was a good day or not,
yeah,
or if it was a good hour or not.
Don't get paralyzed by trying to get everything at once.
I think it's not. I will not recommend that you call someone to have a gigantic IT system rolled out right away.
Yeah.
I think you can start with less. Just try and do something simple. Maybe even have pen to paper in the beginning, and then slowly move into to automation. You can use Factbird or other systems or Power BI or whatever you have, but try to attack a small area and then make your mistakes and learn from them. Try to involve other people in the numbers so that it's not only your numbers, but also the people who can impact the numbers are involved in those numbers.
And you also get buy-in from them as well. So it also becomes in their interest to get the numbers. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And of course, a lot of us are fed up with performance boards. I think we have had consultants like me installing performance boards in a lot of places, but I think that with the possibilities we have today with designing smaller systems that can visualize things, I think we have a lot of opportunity to have turnaround, to develop something that's smart within, a couple of weeks.
Yeah, wow.
I was recently in China and I do productivity audits.
Yep.
And I was in this Chinese factory, and they actually basically only had one giant computer running their process.
Okay.
So in my assessment, I was looking for performance boards. How do you work with numbers here? How do you share the numbers? And I was about to give them a bad rating because I couldn't see any visuals on the wall or anything.
Yeah.
But then when they understood my question, they said, oh, yeah, we have a policy. Every 30 minutes, we take our mobile phone and we take a picture of the screen and we share it with everyone in the factory.
Huh.
So, super simple.
Yeah.
They had one computer, mobile phone, take a picture, share it with the team.
And everybody's got a phone.
Everybody's got a phone.
Yeah.
And so
they use their phone.
I love it. I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Because the mentality is correct.
Yeah.
Right? So
it's not how you get it done.
No,
it's
just get it done.
Just get it done.
Just get it done. So I think there's a lot of room for creative people to generate numbers in their factories. Of course, they can use Factbird, but there are other opportunities available out there.
The main thing is to get the numbers.
It's the mindset.
Yeah.
Is that we want numbers.
Yeah.
That's how that's fundamentally, what if you came to the hospital again and the doctor said, I'm not going to do a blood sample? Would you? I would walk out.
Yeah. I want you to check my cholesterol. Yeah. That's amazing. So really good insights there. I love the analogy or the experience from China as well. It shows it perfectly. You just get the numbers.
Just get it done.
Which way possible.
Yeah.
So you've talked about what the number one tip is. We've talked about how to implement that tip of getting the numbers. Just get them any which way you can.
Yeah.
Keep the complexity of that low. Focus on, what was it? The elephant. When you're going to eat an elephant,
do it in small bites, right?
That's going to stick with me. I'm going to remember that one. So then the last question I have related to this is, so once you start getting the numbers, what does success look like then?
Success is, of course, when you start to change. The numbers by itself will not do anything. It is only when you change behavior or, the way you do your process based on those numbers.
Yep.
So it is the ability to understand that you need numbers, getting numbers, and then have the ability to actually make changes based on those numbers.
Yeah.
And I think the latter part is the most difficult part.
I've heard that a lot, yeah.
That you get a number. If you use again the health analogy, if you let's say like me, I'm maybe a little bit too fat, and so when the scale insults me in the morning, I need to eat less and run more, right?
Yeah.
That ability to turn the numbers into actions is the key challenge. And I'll almost say that if you don't change behavior, why collect the numbers in the first place?
Yeah, I've heard that so many times. I heard it from your mate Klaus at Bain Denmark.
Yeah.
He said the same thing, like changing behavior once you have the data. Lorne from Wozniak, we did this case study with him.
Yeah.
He said FactBird's just a tool.
Yeah.
Like, it's good, but
you need to
you need to change behavior.
Yeah. And I think I've been through a lot of projects with turnarounds. Where we have turned companies from bad into good, and it is amazing how robust most companies are. They can take a lot of change before they break down. Yes, people will yell and scream, but at the end of the day, as humans, we don't like the change. But I think good managers, they are the ones that have this ability to actually dare to change or dare to make experiments.
Yeah.
And say, hey, the number is not good. We need to try something new. And you need, of course, a culture where you don't stab people in the back if it goes wrong or something like that. But I remember one of the toughest boss I ever had was a guy called Kåre Schultz. And he said to me, Finn, I don't care what you do, but please try something different.
Yeah. And
in a way, it was very good to. He ordered me to try something different.
Yeah.
Because we could produce, we could sell more than we could produce.
And was part of that being not afraid to fail, to try things?
Normally, you could be somewhat afraid of him, in the first place. But he said, if we're running at full speed but we need to produce more, he said, do some experiments.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
He says, I want you to do experiments.
Yes.
And so he encouraged me to do experiments to improve the output of the factory.
Yeah.
And so what I'm trying to, if I should sum up, is that we don't be afraid of changing things. You can always change it back. I think it's in the dialogue and the communication and the trust of your team where you say, hey, we're going to do an experiment, and if we fail, then we'll stay with what we have.
Yeah.
But if we don't allow experiments, or if we don't change anything, then the numbers will not improve.
Yeah.
So I think I've actually met maybe 0 people that made too many experiments.
Sure.
I have met a lot of manufacturing people who are super bad at communicating why they do experiments.
Yes.
But the actual number of experiments, I've never seen anybody exceed like a crazy level. I've seen the contrary. People being frustrated about everything and not changing anything.
And just standing still.
Yeah. So in my experience, you can do a lot of change without damaging the company.
Yeah.
That's my experience. You need to be super good at communicating. Why are we doing this?
Yeah. What
will happen? And why should you like it as a colleague?
Yeah. Don't just start doing it.
No, don't just start doing it.
Yeah.
So that's really the last part, changing based on numbers.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to listening back to this one and turning it into an article as well. That was.
I hope it was useful for some of you out there. For some of you, it's common sense, but for the rest of you, I hope maybe it can give you that last push to get the numbers and actually do some changes.
Yeah, even common sense like that, you need to hear it again and again and again.
Absolutely.
Because it can be easy to sort of forget those things that when you're stuck in the grind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Finn.
You're welcome.
I look forward to talking to you again.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for listening. You're not going to get me this time, Gabriel. That was really good, man.
Okay.